Is there anything that can be done to improve public awareness of the effects of poor air quality?
I think there's lots that can be done. I don't think the public appreciate that the seriousness of the risk of poor air quality in urban areas. I think that they, if questioned, would acknowledge that there is an issue, and yes, maybe they've heard that it'll reduce the life expectancy by 7 or 8 months. But I don't think that they would understand that that there is a big impact on pregnancy outcomes in respect to preterm births, low for gestational age children. I don't think they're aware that there's strong evidence coming out of California which suggests that children who live in high polluted areas lose the ability for their lung to develop to its full potential. And if this is the case, then, and it's not resolved by the time they reach 20, then they will never gain that lost lung function again. So that will always be with them the rest of their life. I don't think that the public would appreciate that that particulates appear to play a major role in the development of heart disease or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which by 2020 will be nearly as important. Well, there will be more people suffering from that than there will be of heart disease. So I don't think the public has that general awareness that air quality, some of which they are influencing by the choice of vehicle they buy, by the fuel that vehicle has, by lifestyle issues about whether they're using their car for short journeys and short trips, where they could walk or cycle, or where they perhaps sit with their car idling for 5 minutes at a junction whenever they don't need to. All these issues, if they had that information, they probably would together help to change the major problem we have before us.
So that's very interesting. So if the public were aware of these very serious consequences, many of which are down to their own actions and amenable to amelioration by their own actions, this would make a significant difference. And do you think it would also be useful to have increased public pressure on regulatory authorities to help increase air quality?
I do. I mean, if the figures, when they released, the official figures are of the order which I've suggested this morning and which the European reports have suggested, if they are of that magnitude, then clearly this issue is much larger than fatalities associated with road accidents or even serious injury from road accidents in the UK. Yet there's considerably more resource and drive given to try and improve that public health issue than there is this one.
So you really think that if there was a greater public awareness, it would lead to significant behaviour change?
I suspect it would do, yes.
Well, I'll just add a bit. With all of these things, it's very difficult territory to, entirely put the problem at members of the public, because in many cases they're the people who are, let's say, the innocent victims on this, to be the person that lives close to a road or so forth. So there's a need also for government to enable people to make the right choices, if you know what I mean. It's no use saying people should be using public transport if the public transport isn't available, just as a very simple case. But I think that's quite obvious, really.